He was never supposed to end up on television. In fact, Jason Poole once imagined his life in a uniform, serving in the United States Marine Corps. But fate had other plans. A scholarship he hadn't expected suddenly shifted his path, sending him into the world of art and design. Years later, millions would come to know him as the quiet genius behind the most iconic motorcycles on American Chopper. Yet his journey wasn't straightforward. It was filled with surprising turns, long hours, and the pressure of living under a spotlight he never asked for. Jason Poole grew up in Illinois, far from the fame and noise of reality television. As a teenager, his sights were set on discipline and service. The dream was the Marines, a structured, demanding future that promised order and purpose. But just before that dream became reality, a single opportunity rerouted his life. He received the August Holland Scholarship, a recognition that opened the doors to the Illinois Institute of Art. Suddenly, instead of drills and military service, Jason was surrounded by sketchbooks, paints, and design theory. The transition wasn't small. He had to leave behind one identity to embrace another, something that required adaptability and courage. At the Institute, Jason began honing his skills, diving deep into the fundamentals of art while slowly realizing that design could be more than just an interest, it could be a career. He pursued a degree in fine arts, laying the groundwork for what would later become his professional identity. What's striking is how this early decision shaped everything that came after. Without the scholarship, there's a good chance Jason would never have touched the world of design at all. After finishing school, Jason didn't immediately step into motorcycle workshops or welding bays. Instead, his career began in an unexpected place: video game design. He joined Incredible Technologies, a company in Illinois best known for its arcade and digital projects. There, Jason worked as an artist and animator, creating characters, environments, and interactive experiences. On the surface, this might have seemed far removed from the grease and metal of custom motorcycles, but in reality, it gave him essential skills. Video game design demanded spatial awareness and the ability to visualize in 3 dimensions. Jason learned to build digital models that were cohesive, detailed, and functional within the logic of a game world. That ability to imagine how pieces fit together later became invaluable when he turned sketches into motorcycles. He also developed sharp problem-solving instincts, figuring out creative solutions when something didn't quite fit. Few would have predicted that the skills learned behind a computer screen would one day translate into building rolling works of art. But when the opportunity arose, Jason's video game background made him uniquely prepared to step into the fast-paced, high-pressure environment of Orange County Choppers. Jason's first connection to Orange County Choppers wasn't through motorcycles at all. It was through a digital project. The company was licensing a pinball machine, and Jason's expertise in digital design made him the perfect fit. He was brought on to contribute artwork and design elements, but something about his work caught the eye of Pohl Sr., the founder of OC. Pohl Sr. quickly recognized that Jason's talents went far beyond digital artwork. Jason had a rare ability. He could take 2-dimensional ideas and transform them into realistic, functional 3-dimensional models. For a company that thrived on big ideas and larger-than-life motorcycles, this skill was invaluable. Soon, Jason wasn't just working on digital projects. He was inside the shop, sketching, modeling, and eventually designing motorcycles that would appear on American Chopper. His attention to detail and innovative mindset made him stand out, and he rose to the role of senior designer. Unlike many who appeared on the show, Jason wasn't chasing television fame. He was there for the craft. His job was to ensure that the bikes weren't just flashy, but also cohesive, functional, and a reflection of artistry welded into steel. Working at OCC meant stepping into one of television's most dramatic workplaces. American Chopper wasn't just about custom bikes. It was also about the explosive dynamic between Pohl Sr. and Pohl Jr. Their arguments became legendary, drawing viewers who tuned in as much for the conflict as for the motorcycles. In the middle of that storm, Jason had to carve out his place. Unlike many, he managed to maintain a positive working relationship with Pohl Sr. He earned respect by focusing on the work, delivering designs that impressed both the team and the audience. While the tuttles often clashed, Jason became a steady hand, quietly contributing without adding to the chaos. Still, the environment wasn't easy. Cameras followed every build, amplifying stress and compressing timelines. Every project had to be both a television spectacle and a mechanical success. For Jason, that meant long days, tight deadlines, and little margin for error. But his calm demeanor and ability to adapt made him invaluable. Fans of the show may not remember him for loud arguments or dramatic exits, but behind the scenes, Jason was the one transforming sparks of imagination into motorcycles viewers still remember today. When American Chopper eventually wound down, many wondered what would come next for its cast and crew. For Jason Poole, The end of the show wasn't the end of his career. It was the beginning of a new chapter. Rather than stay confined to motorcycle design, he expanded his horizons into industrial design and cutting-edge technologies. One of the biggest shifts was his embrace of 3D printing. This allowed Jason to design and produce intricate prototypes with precision and efficiency that traditional methods couldn't match. It wasn't just a tool for speed, it opened new creative possibilities. Suddenly, complex shapes and innovative designs became achievable. He also took on unique projects, including designing championship belts for organizations like WWE and the World Long Drive competition. These weren't motorcycles, but they required the same mix of artistry and engineering. A belt might not have wheels, but it carried cultural significance and had to be both functional and symbolic. Jason's versatility as a designer shone through, proving that his skills extended far beyond the OCC shop. By embracing new fields, he cemented himself as a designer who wasn't limited by one medium or one moment in time. Behind the shop lights and camera crews, Jason Poole built a life that kept him grounded. He married Crystal, and together they raised 4 children. While his professional life often demanded long hours and high-pressure deadlines, his family provided balance and stability. Unlike the turmoil often seen on American Chopper, Jason's personal life reflected harmony and support. This foundation was more than just comforting, it was essential. Creative work can't thrive in constant chaos, and having a stable home allowed Jason to recharge and return to projects with focus. It also highlighted an important contrast. While the Tuttles often struggled with explosive relationships, Jason managed to maintain peace both at home and at work. His role as a husband and father shaped his approach to design as well. Many of his projects outside of OCC involved precision and patience, qualities sharpened by his personal life. For viewers, it may have seemed like Jason simply appeared on television and then moved into other industries. But behind the scenes, his family life played a crucial role in every decision he made. It provided the stability necessary to endure years of demanding projects and unpredictable professional shifts. Jason's career might look smooth from the outside, but it came with sacrifices. At OCC, deadlines were relentless, and the cameras magnified every mistake. Working in an environment dominated by family drama while being a non-family employee needed an extra layer of pressure. He had to remain professional while emotions ran high around him, often absorbing stress that wasn't his to carry. The constant demand for creativity also risked burnout. Designing motorcycles week after week for a global audience meant there was little time to rest or recharge. Every project needed to be bigger, flashier, and more complex than the last. Balancing this with his responsibilities at home wasn't easy. These challenges required resilience. Jason couldn't simply rely on his skills. He had to learn how to adapt, how to work under scrutiny, and how to deliver excellence no matter the circumstances. That ability to push through strain without losing focus is part of what makes his story compelling. It wasn't just about building motorcycles. It was about surviving one of reality television's most intense workplaces while still producing designs that defined an era of custom choppers. Today, Jason Poole's story is more than just his years on American Chopper. His career reflects the evolution of a designer who constantly embraced change. From military dreams to digital art, from custom motorcycles to 3D printed prototypes, he has shown that adaptability is one of the most valuable traits a creative professional can have. Jason also gives back to the community. Through mentorship and speaking engagements, he encourages new designers to embrace both traditional craftsmanship and modern technology. He emphasizes that design isn't about one tool or one medium. It's about creativity, problem solving, and persistence. His own career is living proof of that philosophy. In recent years, he has also been involved in projects that stress sustainability and efficiency, aligning design with global concerns about waste and resource management. His influence extends beyond the motorcycles that made him famous. It reaches into the broader world of industrial design and education. For fans, Jason might always be remembered as the quiet, steady hand at OCC, but for the design world, his legacy is broader. He represents innovation, resilience, and the ability to thrive under pressure without losing sight of what matters most. Jason Poole's journey defies expectations. He was supposed to become a Marine, but instead, a scholarship introduced him to art. He started out designing video games, only to land in one of the most chaotic workshops ever broadcast on television. At American Chopper, he became the steady designer behind some of the show's most memorable motorcycles, proving that true artistry can shine even in the middle of reality TV drama. After the cameras stopped rolling, he didn't fade away. He embraced new technologies, branched into industrial design, and created work that reached far beyond motorcycles. Projects like championship belts for major sports organizations proved his creativity had no limits. And through it all, his family kept him grounded, providing the balance that made his demanding career sustainable. Jason's story is one of resilience and reinvention. It shows how unexpected opportunities can reshape a life and how diverse skills, whether from video games, motorcycles, or new technology, can combine to create something extraordinary. For viewers who only saw glimpses of him on television, the full story reveals a designer whose quiet determination left a lasting mark on both the custom chopper world and the wider field of design.